Hello, I'm Leah London reporting for Manning Live here at the CCNN studios in Manning, South Carolina. Today is April 26th, 2019, and here's a look at what's making news and headlines for this week. On Friday, April 19th, a tornado touched down near Wilson's Landing, south of Manning. According to the National Weather Service, the total area affected was approximately 3 miles in size. Winds were reported to exceed 110 miles per hour. Camp Bob Cooper had multiple trees toppled over during the tornado. There were also 2 decks and minor roof damage to one of the cabins. All across the impacted area, trees were uprooted or snapped and had fallen onto houses, boats, and power lines. The storm continued northeast, causing more damage to trees and homes on Malibu Drive and Beaver Drive before lifting back up just past Durant Lane. In other local news, an amendment was proposed to a bill first written in December that would allow a toll bridge to be built on Interstate 95 between Orangeburg and Clarendon counties. As of Monday, the amendment simply states that a toll be imposed on I-95 where it crosses Lake Marion in either Orangeburg or Clarendon County. According to a statement released by Senator Kevin Johnson, the money collected could be used toward improving the bridge crossing over Santee River and other existing road issues nearby. Johnson also said back in 2016 that the wording of any bill or amendment proposing a toll could possibly exempt riders native to Clarendon and Orangeburg counties, or even all South Carolina residents from the toll. If passed, a signature by Governor Henry McMaster is all that is needed to make the amendment law. In a public service announcement from the Manning City Police Department, people are recording phone scammers calling local residents. These people will appear to be legitimate businesses calling to provide a service, but attempting to steal personal data, such as social security numbers, date of birth, or bank account information. If you are contacted, record their name, the name of their company, and their phone number, and then report it to authorities. In another public service announcement, the Democratic Party will be hosting presidential candidate Cory Booker in a community forum called Stump on the Steps with Cory. This event will be held today at 2 p.m. on the steps of Weldon Auditorium. Starting April 26th, Clarendon County will begin celebrating its 40th annual Striped Bass Festival. The opening ceremony will be held today at 6:30 p.m. at the gazebo, followed by the hometown parade beginning Saturday at 10 a.m. Also on Saturday, there will be the truck and car show from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m., and the popular truck pull will be starting at noon at 1425 Hamilton Road. You can follow the signs on Highway South 301 towards Somerton. And from the office of Mayor Julia Nelson and all of the city officials, enjoy the food, the awesome festivities, and most of all, be safe. In our featured story this week, the C.E. Murray Gym was named to honor Judge James Dingle. The dedication ceremony was held Easter Sunday at 3 p.m. at C.E. Murray. The CEO of CCNN Studios, Reverend Daryl James, had the opportunity to sit and have a one-on-one conversation with Judge Dingle. Let's have a listen to that interview.
First of all, congratulations. Congratulations on the dedication. Oh, tell me how it feels to when you were there, because it was a total surprise. You had no idea. And I was wondering, at what point did you know, or did you know what was going on? Talk to me about.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for inviting me here this afternoon, but it was a total surprise to me. And you asked when I found out really what was going on, and that was about the middle of the program last Sunday. But I was going on my way to Greeleyville, and some of my good students called me, and they said that we were going to roast our senator. So I put all my little things together, and that's when I arrived at the gymnasium, and I didn't figure it out until about halfway through the program. But it was a total surprise.
Yeah, I know. I was watching. Watched that whole thing play out, and they were having a conversation for almost like 15, 20 minutes before you even knew what was going on. That was so. I guess you really were surprised, because most people, they walk in the door when they get surprised, and then they kind of know what's going on. But you actually sat there for a while.
Yes, I was midway into the program before because they didn't give me a program, and then after about middle of the program, somebody had me a program, and I look on it.
Right.
And they had my name, James D. Dingle, and I never had a middle initial, so that was kind of surprising too. I don't know what they had going on. But
really, that's not your middle initial.
I don't have a middle initial.
You have a middle initial.
No.
Okay. So you had a bunch of surprises.
You got that.
You had a bunch of surprises.
Right.
Listen, one of the things that I know you're a man of faith, but talk to me a little bit about how your faith has played a part in just who you are as a person.
Well, first of all, I am a man of God. I have all kind of faith, but I think sometime when we have faith, you need somebody in the background that is really have the faith, and they're sending the word out for you. And that is exactly what I have in Clarendon County and in Williamsburg County. I have a lot of people that prayed for me, they helped me, and I'm for one certainly appreciate it, but we have some real Christian people here that really would, if you didn't have the faith, you would get it,
right?
You know. And I'm going back just a little bit, if you don't mind, and I remember last Sunday with your sermon and what you were saying in that really picked me up, and I want to congratulate you on that. And I carried that with me last Sunday afternoon, so I want to thank you for that too.
Oh, that's so wonderful to me. Let me ask you a question, Judge. What do you think when you look back and you look over the years of your life and all the decisions and things that you had to make? What's one of the things that you want people to most remember? You know, people will always remember, you know, you for things, how you touch their life. What do you want them to remember?
The bottom line in what I would like for anybody to remember about me is trying to help those that in need, and probably some of them that not in need. But you know, I often talk to a lot of people here in Clarendon County and other places too, that my main objective in life was to always try to help, and to, especially with young people, is to try to motivate them to be their best, to go and stretch their potentials to the end until they pop. And I was one of those that was trying to enforce that all the time. And if I can remember very well back, and if you don't mind me saying it, that when you was a little fella at Trinity, I was there at Trinity and saw you grow up. And you know, as you know, may I call you Darryl?
Yes.
Darryl, things wasn't the best for us at that time, but we had to take what we had and make something out of it. And you were running that group, so I just want people to remember me as being somebody, person that just trying to help along the way.
How do you balance your ability to be an effective magistrate judge dealing with people, with the law, and then the fairness? How do you find that balance? Because you know, you got the law, what people do, and then sometimes you gotta teach people the lessons they need to learn. Sometimes you gotta be hard, sometimes not so hard. How do you balance all of that?
But Darryl, let me tell you something. When you are dealing with the judicial system, and you just mentioned something this while ago, and it was about biblical history. It all kind of ties in. If you go into the judicial system and you carry Jesus with you into that courtroom, and if you administer justice, and if you do the right thing by people, you see the little people you see in that courtroom, all of them are little creatures of God, and you have to treat them fairly. And if you intend to go home and sleep well at night, you must treat them fairly. So I don't have a problem with in the courtroom with people. It's because I started out right. I start court was a prayer within myself. And he gives me all the guidance I need. And I walk out just like I walk in. And I don't have a problem with people in court because I do the right thing.
That's powerful. That's powerful. One of the things that I found out about you that I didn't know, I knew a lot about you. I knew a lot about you coming up. I always know about you. But I didn't know about the sports. I didn't know you played. Talk about how sports has had the impact. And tell me about some stats and give me some background on your athleticism.
Very easy. If it wasn't for football, I wouldn't have gone to school. That's the only reason I went off to school is because of football. And believe it or not, I had a roommate that really put me into that and encouraged me to stay in school because I was getting ready to drop out because I didn't like school and I didn't like nothing else. But they had that football and Coach Dawson, and he said some very unkind things to me, but it helped. And that's really why I stayed in school.
Okay.
Those were the kind of sports. And I was a running back. And
you was a running back?
Yeah, I did all of that. And
you must have a lot of speed.
Well, everybody was slow back then. and believe it or not, you know who was one of my coaches? He was from King Street, Luther Bradley.
Okay.
And Luther had an act of telling you things that make you feel bad if you didn't do a lot. So really, athletics played a major role in my life. And after graduation, after going into the public schools to work, I got into coaching in the public school.
Okay.
And that's when I sent quite a few fellows off to college to play college ball. I sent them off on scholarships. But the bottom line is, I'd like to tell you this. Athletics played a major role in my life in developing me as a young man. And I came out of there and went to other places to try to do the same thing with those other people.
That's amazing. That's amazing. The passion that you had for, like you said, being sports actually opened up so many doors and opportunities for you.
And then, along when you was talking on that same line, and that you was talking about people having some type of impact on your life, I wasn't the best teacher in the world, and I'm not going to say I was. But I tried to do the best thing of those kids. But I had a principal down there in that school down there named after him. There's Charles Edward Murray. And he had a way of really putting things to you. And he had one of the greatest impacts on my life.
Wow.
Anybody else, I tell you. And he was a great, great man. And I'm just so glad I had the opportunity to be affiliated with him. And he's another in that really encouraged me to do other things outside of something that wasn't good.
Well, that's our live news highlight for the week. So until next time, this is Leah London reporting for Manning Live from CCNN Studios in Manning, South Carolina.